I don't wanna say anything, cause if I do I might say the wrong words. Oh no. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't wait for a single reason not to say goodbye. Oh, if I said what's on my mind, would you stay with me tonight? If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. Oh, would that make you run and hide? Don't know what to do anymore. I'm out of options, nothing's working. I'm out of service. Come help me now, I'm fucking nervous. I'm trying but can't scratch the surface. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't wait.
This is the Suplex Assassin, the Hoe Thrower, your MLW World Champion. And you are watching Cold TV, and that is on Boomerang! 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 Let's go.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we talk about everything that happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. I'm Xlj the Og, joined by my other brother from my other mother, one Michael J. Duplessis. How you doing, bro?
Good. How are you, bro?
Doing good. Appreciate you stepping in again and helping us out this week. Of course, B-Roll is out on assignment, but we anticipate he'll be back with us next week. So Mike's going to step in here before he's getting ready for a big Netflix and Raw, which is going to be a very interesting episode, I think, tonight, especially after what happened this weekend.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got a lot to talk about. So let's just get right into it. As Mr. B-Roll always says, the clock starts now. And of course, our top story this week is WWE's SummerSlam took place this past weekend, and it was the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Mixed reactions to this one. I think overall, if we're just looking about like in-ring storytelling and that, I think it was a pretty good show. What do you think, Mike?
Absolutely. Looking back at it, getting to think about it, I thought it was a really good pay-per-view.
I do too. I think both nights were good. I think night one had a couple of slow moments, but definitely had a huge, obviously, story at the end of the night, which we're going to get into. I think night two was just solid from beginning to almost the end, which we're going to talk about it. But before we get to that, I think it's important. We got to talk about SmackDown from this past week first. And it's very important because something was definitely set up on SmackDown. But first, let's run it down. Pretty cool moment for Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown making their SmackDown
Oh
appearances.
damn! I love those two.
Right, as they as Los Garzas sent out a open challenge for the AAA tag team titles, and of course, they would
They
answer the
brought the
call.
most two over guys from that company to America.
Right, which like, I mean, I've watched AAA. I feel terrible. Like, I don't remember them being a regular tag team, Psycho Clown and Iguana. Right, I think they're
No,
just two
this
top
is
baby faces, pretty much.
yeah. They
Right?
team regularly for the big cards when they have all the storylines mixed together for 6 mans and 8
Which
tags.
that makes sense. We're used to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But they when we did Worlds Collide, those were the two of the most over talents from
Oh,
the
yeah.
company.
Oh yeah.
So it
Yeah,
makes sense
and
that they
And
make
Psycho
them a tag
Clown
team.
has kind of been the baby face for a long time there.
Yeah.
Even before Fikino, really, if you've been watching AAA.
Yeah.
So cool moment there. Also, we got to start us off, Julia defending her women's U.S. title in a rematch against Selena Vega. Selena, unfortunately, would come up short there as Julia retains her U.S. championship. We also got the confrontation between Damian Priest and Aleister Black, which kind of was ended a little early.
Yeah.
But the reason we're talking about SmackDown before we're talking about SummerSlam is this right here. This was the opening segment, and it literally changed everything, not only for SummerSlam, but for like the WWE, if you think about it. Because so John Cena literally just was like flipped. He's like, fuck it. I'm going back to being a babyface.
Yeah, because The Rock and Travis Scott screwed him. Travis Scott can go fuck himself.
Agreed.
And that little shot he took at Travis Scott about being a platinum artist.
Yeah.
The
We
only
can
platinum
dissect this, and I think we could literally do a whole show on it. And also, thank you to the network. We're starting early here tonight, as you know, because we got a lot to talk about. This is a supersized episode of PW60. But we're not going to dwell on this too much because we have so much to talk about. But overall, what did you think of this switch? Were you okay with it? Were you kind of like, that's it? Like, okay? Were you kind of like, thank God?
It was more of a thank God moment. I
Yeah.
think the heel thing with it kind of ending the way it did left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Left me not liking Dwayne Johnson as a human being because it was just like he upped and left and was like dropped the ball on what was a huge moment at WrestleMania
Yeah.
or
That's
at the
true,
Rumble.
especially Travis Scott too. Like they
Yeah.
put way too much fucking faith in that guy. Way too
Yeah.
much fucking faith. Like if I was
Yes.
WWE, I wouldn't want a damn thing to do with him again. But
And I
it's
don't think
WWE, and they fucking probably will because they forgive and forget everybody. I don't know. Like I'm not there. I know there's a lot of people who's kind of was just like, what the fuck? What was the last? Like they're pissed because we lost the last 4 months or whatever. What's supposed to be Cena's last run. You can look at it that way, but I mean, it was kind of like interesting, different to see like him as a heel. Did it work? No. But I mean, it was it's kind of like Cena said on that reality show, the Unreal. He's on page 498 of a 500-page book.
Yeah.
Sure, the last 2 pages aren't going to fuck it up, and I don't think that's the case here.
No.
Because I will say this, I think what happened at SummerSlam led to arguably his best work and his best match since coming back to the WWE. So let's get right into SummerSlam. We're going to start off with night 2 from Sunday night and get right into that confrontation. Cody Rhodes against John Cena in a street fight. Now, what Cena pretty much said on SmackDown more or less was, thank you, Cody, for waking me up. This is just going to be like just a dog fight for the WWE Championship. And really kind of a changing of the guard, too, in this one. It's that age-old, okay, now here's the ball. You take it. So it was kind of a cool moment in that respect. The match was great. I like the match.
Yes, match was phenomenal. It reminded me of the street fight Cena had with JBL in 05 at Judgment Day.
Just without the blood.
Yeah, without the blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was actually very impressed with how great that match was.
And this was a match, too, where, it was a brawl and stuff, but it didn't necessarily have to have blood. which was okay. I was okay with it. It was like a classic WWE style main event, essentially. And it was great to see John Cena get that moment and get that passing of torch, which I think was important. It is weird how we got there, but it's okay, I think, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Like, it's
absolutely.
because it could have been what's done is done. We can't change the past, but you've got 4 more months of Cena left, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
and what's going to happen there? Well, apparently this. What the fuck? And what was probably the biggest shocker of the weekend, because there was a lot of shocking moments coming out of SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar has returned to the WWE. What the fuck? Mike, you got any thoughts
Uh,
on this?
I love Brock Lesnar as a wrestler. I'm a big fan of his as an in-ring talent. I have not paid attention or really like looked into the legal thing. So I don't know if he's cleared and the legal team says he's good. And I have nothing to say. Like that is up to TKO in the WWE.
Well, the best way I can describe this image is your image on the left is beautiful. Your image on the right is dog shit. I'm sorry, but like I never thought we would see him back, and rightfully so. Um, I mean, did he? Didn't he? It doesn't fucking matter. His name has been named, and there's some heinous and atrocious acts. Unless you have clear cut blue evidence that just him coming out saying like I ain't have shit to do with this, and there's proof to it. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. I think this is WWE's like covering this shit up, because I really feel like, and I'm gonna get more into this later tonight on this show. This week to me for the WWE was the WWE really kind of starting to show their hand, which really shouldn't be a shocker by any means, because they do this shit all the fucking time. But anyways, I digress. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. One thing I thought was so weird last night was, did you watch any of the post show?
No, no.
Okay. At the post show, Hunter's out there doing his thing, and then they're like started chanting, "We want Brock." I'm like, really? Like, really? Is he that? Like, I mean, I can't deny it from the perspective of the pop he got. I mean, it shocked the shit out of me too, because I really didn't think you'd ever see Lesnar again. I guess this is like Cena's playing all the hits, I
Yeah.
guess. So,
So I heard during that press conference, the fans were actually chanting, "We want Cross," and Triple H was like, "Oh, you guys want Brock?"
they were chanting the cross on Saturday night, I think, because I actually watched both of them, but I don't remember them chanting it last night. They could have.
Okay, that's
They
what I
could
had
have.
read on the internet.
Yeah.
So it might not be that then. So, but yeah,
I gotta say, Brock Lesnar with long hair like this is really freaking me out too.
he's a countryman who lives in Canada.
Yeah.
The look is yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and it's controversy. It is what it is. Like, it's out there. This is the guy right here, who, in my opinion, I think's got the final say on like who he's working with and shit.
Yeah.
So Cena, in a way, is somewhat responsible for Brock Lesnar back in the WWE. I'm sure there's other factors, obviously. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm not a fan. I feel like that match stood on its own, and you could have easily left the pay-per-view with just Cena walking out, and, you know, that would have been it. We didn't necessarily need this, but they chose to go with that shock value, I guess, because they felt they had to live up to what happened on night one, which we're going to talk about here in just a couple moments. But I don't know, man. I've said it before on this show, and I'll say it again. Like, I'm about WWE out. Like, it's just I feel like with them, it's like one step forward and 10 steps back here lately. But like I say, that's my opinion. If like anybody who can enjoy it still, and like, that's awesome, man. Go for it. Like, if that's what brings you happiness, fuck yeah. Like, watch wrestling. Watch. If it's WWE, then so be it. But I don't know. Me personally, I feel like I'm struggling a lot here lately, if I'm being completely honest. So it's like me just shooting straight. It is getting very hard for me to watch WWE nowadays. I just like, and our good buddy Hambone said something in our group chat that really kind of stuck with me, and it's a solid point. He's like, listen, like there is so many damn like everybody, like CEO of these major corporations, they're all fucking assholes for the most part. They're all corrupt to a certain extent. Some show their hands over others, but at the end of the day, his hobby, what he loves, what he has a passion for, is professional wrestling. And the fuckers can take a lot of things, but they can't. He's not gonna let them take that. I kind of am in agreement with what he says there, but also like there's a part of me that's just like, I don't know, man. There's so many other great wrestling companies out here. Like, I can't, like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go on like a tangent, but like, it's just I'm being straight. Like the Brock Lesnar stuff and some other stuff that happened this week really bothers me with WWE. But that's another discussion for another time. So let's talk about the rest of SummerSlam. Let's talk about night 2. Your opening contest, you got a triple threat match for the women's WWE World Championship. Of course, Naomi defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Great opener.
Such a phenomenal opener.
Great opener.
The moment, including the entrances, that moment Naomi had with her dad.
Oh, so cool. I had no idea her dad was like a guitar player.
Legend.
That's fucking cool, man. I had no idea. And he looks smooth as shit.
Yeah.
Her coming out. I guess one thing I love with, like, this is like Naomi. Naomi's at her best because she's being herself.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit. There's no filter. Like, she's being Naomi. And I think that's really cool. It was great. I was happy she picked up the win. And you did a great another chapter in this story between Io and Rhea. And Naomi retaining was the right call. So it was a great opening matchup. But in my opinion, I think this was the best women's matchup of the entire weekend. That Intercontinental Championship encounter between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Of course, no DQ, no count out. And if Lyra lost, she would never be able to challenge for the IC title while Becky's holding it again. This one went long too, man. A lot of back and forth. There was a story told, with the zip ties.
Shocked with how long this match actually was and how much time they gave them.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I loved every minute. Yeah,
it was really good. Even the moment with Bayley, because I think that's going to lead to Bayley winning this belt from Becky.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I thought this was going to be a short few minute match where Becky squashed, or like a surprise Ryra roll up. But the fact that they gave them time was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a spectacular matchup. Great back and forth. There was several close calls. Of course, Bayley would get involved in this, and ultimately Bayley accidentally would cost Lyra this matchup, and Becky Lynch retains. And now Lyra can't challenge for that IC title while Becky's holding it. So I'm like you. I think we're going into like a program here with Becky with Lyra and Bayley. And then I do think that eventually leads to Bayley winning the IC title.
Becky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But great matchup, man. It's a classic SummerSlam matchup as far as I was concerned. Tremendous. Speaking of tremendous, holy shit. Let's talk about this one.
Match of the night for me.
Yeah, as great as the street fight was, this was my favorite match.
Yeah.
The TLC matchup for the men's WWE Tag Team Championship. Holy shit. This match was like everything we thought it would be and more. Such a car. The fact of the matter is this match has seen so many different innovations throughout the year. And the fact that they were doing some spots in this one that I have never seen before. Like Tommaso Ciampa, what the fuck? Like,
his upper body strength is fucking
insane.
Crazy.
He's dangling, he's hanging, and then Nate Fraser's going for okay, you think they're gonna do the whole Edge party spot?
Yeah.
and fucking he pulls his after he's been hanging for a minute at least.
Yeah.
He pulls his entire body up to like to Frazier misses him. Mike, I've never seen anything like that.
No,
Never.
no. And Tommaso's not a young chicken anymore. He's been in
No.
the game a while.
Yeah,
Like that was really fucking impressive.
absolutely.
Also, salute to Candice LeRae for allowing them to kill her.
My God, that spot through the ladder. Holy shit with
That
Candace.
ladder broke clearly.
Oh
That
yeah.
was scary.
And then it just you go like that one spot where you had succession table bumps and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And then that moment with Andrade and Ray where Ray almost grabbed the belts just by going up on Andrade's shoulders.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, that's innovative.
Yeah. I mean, this one's back and forth. I love too, like, there were so many moments kind of like this where you can see where you got like at least 3 or 4 of the tag teams in this that are coming close to grabbing the belts.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they really kind of did a great job of presenting that struggle.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the Wyatt Six would have the numbers advantage, and they would retain their tag team championship.
As a ZZW fan, the fact that Joe Gacy not only holds a belt in the WWE, but he was in a TLC match makes me so fucking happy.
And he's the guy who pulled him down too.
I've been
Yeah.
watching this man since the beginning of his career. I'm fucking proud of that kid.
Yeah, if ever the "You deserve it" chant should be echoed, it would definitely be for both Gacy and Dexter Lumis. Man, both those guys incredible journeyman pro wrestlers. So, but yeah, I the street fight was magnificent, but to me, this was the match of the night by far. And like I say, that woman's IC title and the woman's opener was phenomenal too. Let's talk about the cage match for the United States Championship with
The
Solo
one
Sikoa.
dud on this card.
Yeah, this was the one match where I was just kind of like, I'm not really feeling this one. As
The match in itself was great. That
Yeah.
ending was weird.
the ending kind of like, you get all the bullshit from the what are we calling them now? The MWTs or whatever?
No, the MFT. My family great.
MFTs. Yeah, there we go. MFTs. So that was a little chaotic. It was great seeing Jacob do that moonsault off the
Yeah.
cage. Are we done here, you think? Because I
No.
feel like you don't think so? Okay.
No, I think Jacob's gonna get that belt back.
Really? Okay. I don't know. I feel kind of like they're gonna maybe they're gonna keep this around for another month or two. But then I think they're gonna move on with Jacob in the main event scene.
I
Like-
actually would not be upset at that.
That's kind of the gut feeling I get, but
I
don't
just
know.
want to know where you go with the MFT. Specifically the MFT. Where do you go from here?
I don't know. Yeah, other than just have Solo remain the champion and do the chicken shit heel things, I guess.
Yeah.
So, it was an interesting factoid. This was the first cage match in SummerSlam history since 2001.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What was that? The still cage?
Taker and Kane against Canyon and DDP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I couldn't remember if it was Canyon DDT or Chronic.
Yeah. Nope. Fun fact. So there you go. Also on night 2, let's talk about this one, the Intercontinental Championship. I know you love this because holy shit, this was a love letter to Eddie Guerrero. This match right here.
I cried the whole match. Not only a love letter to Eddie, but a love letter to the Mysterio lineage with the Mask Dominic War.
Yep.
It was a Lucha Libre love letter.
Mm-hmm.
This was my second favorite match of the night, just because of what the Guerrero family did, what Eddie specifically means to me. God damn it. When that lowrider came out, if you go back and watch the watch along we did, you can see me cry.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting it at all. AJ's the fact that the gear were resembling Eddie's from SummerSlam of 05.
Yeah, from
Like,
the Custody battle. So
Yeah.
great. The fact
Yeah,
that he came up with the sun, which I think was ironic.
Yeah.
Take a little
And
salute to that,
how
Justin.
and how crazy is that, Mike? The 20-year anniversary of that custody ladder match.
That makes me feel old when you say that.
I'm right there with you, bro. And now
Because
we
like
got
Dominic's been around the WWE for 20 years now.
he's a veteran. He's a veteran at this point. But it was a great matchup. The finish was awesome. A lot of throwbacks to Eddie, of course, with the chair, and then the stuff with the boot made me think of
Yeah.
WrestleMania 20. I was like, oh, this is so fucking good.
Yeah, no.
Like, everything about it was
Which
wonderful.
makes sense, of course, with Dominic and Eddie, but like Eddie and AJ shared a locker room in Ring of Honor for a couple shows.
Yep.
And in IWA Mid South. So that also makes sense. Just beautiful.
Yeah, it was a tremendous matchup, and I gotta say, man, this was a matchup too where like I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of, honestly, and I'm like you, it was probably one of my favorite matches on not only on the show but SummerSlam weekend overall.
Yeah.
But night 2 was very impressive. We're gonna get into night 1, but before we do that, our good friend Husky Rhodes has got a hot take on the ending of SummerSlam night 2. So let's go to Husky with a hot take.
So Brock Lesnar's back, I guess. I blame John Cena for this. I really do. Because Nick Khan and Triple H, when they found out that this was John's final run, they literally said, we're going to let John do whatever he wants. So he brings back Brock Lesnar. Now, TKO has also said that they will not touch Brock because of the shit with Vince. So either they went against their word to appease John Cena, or Brock got cleared of the shit. All I know is, fuck that. That sucked the air out of the fucking room. You had a beautiful moment, and you fucked it in the ass. Hope you're happy, John.
Harsh words, but I couldn't agree more with you, Husky. Thank you so much for that hot take. Well, let's talk about SummerSlam Night 1. And, of course, the Night 1 main event was CM Punk against Gunther. Mike and I had the privilege of watching this together over on World Championship Wreckage's watch-along party. And you even said over the broadcast, too, like, hey, guys, it's not that we're, like, not into this or being quiet. We're just watching because it was a great technical masterpiece, really.
And technical wrestling, I will be honest, isn't usually my thing. Like, I get bored of like a Bret Hart match or like a Super Kurt Angle match, or like sometimes I just is whatever for me. But this match was phenomenal.
Absolutely. The chemistry between these two was off the charts. We had a feeling it would be a great encounter. And I know this is probably the first of many between these guys.
I was about to say, for them having this first match, I was honestly shocked how great it was.
Yeah, like, because Gunther just has that old school vibe to him. And I mean, we know Punk is of the old school. This had everything as a classic main event SummerSlam matchup for the World Championship.
Yeah.
Everything about it was awesome. It was literally chef's kiss. Like, honestly, it was probably, I think, my favorite match of the week. And guess what? It's our match of the week here on PW60 as well. Was Gunther versus CM Punk. And of course, yes, CM Punk would finally get that moment where he wins the World Championship. But what happens, Mike? It's what we all talked about. We all predicted. We predicted on our prediction show. But the way they went about it, though, went a little bit different. They trolled us.
The way this went.
Oh, my God. So as we know, we reported it here a couple weeks ago. Seth Rollins sustaining an injury, or so we thought, on Saturday night's main event against LA Knight, where that match was ended abruptly. But we kind of been in the dark on this, like what the hell's going on with them? So there's kind of people questioning it. And I just want to say this. The very first place that reported this was right here on this show with the Dirt Sheet News. I'm just saying. Jay was on that way before I heard it on anybody else's discussion. So shout out to Jay and the Dirt Sheet News. But Seth comes out on crutches with the knee brace, and we're all like, okay, it's just him reminding Punk, blah, blah, blah. He goes, has that moment on the stage, and then he drops the crutches, and the crowd goes banana. As yes, the evil mastermind himself reveals it was all ruse all along. So the appearances on the Rich Eisen show, the videos of Becky posting with them and their kid and stuff.
By the way, Becky's video when this happened was so petty.
Oh, I know, where she's just like, "Oh, did I mislead you?" Blah blah blah. Yeah, it was pretty good. Not gonna lie. Of course, Seth comes out and takes the moment away from Punk as Seth Rollins cashes in his money in the bank and is your new world champion. Would CM Punk hold the title for like what, maybe 3 minutes?
Yeah.
4 minutes?
Yeah.
If that?
So technically, you can't say he was a champion for 3 minutes in 2025.
So there you go, man. But it was all stripped away from him. Just look at this. Look at this. Look at the wise man or the oracle. Look at just them all sitting around in enjoyment. And of course,
So great. I love this group.
I do too. And of course,
The IWC has been shitting on them. I love this group.
I do too. Yeah, like yeah, yeah, lay off because this is fun. This is good shit. Just because you love Punk so much, you know. But of course, Seth Rollins is our wrestler of the week here on PW60 as he cashed in his money in the bank and is your new world champion. I gotta say, Mike, I was thinking about this. As far as like cash-ins for both the men's and the women's, I think this may be one of the best years where both of them happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Naomi's was phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was incredible. So, but old Seth Rollins pulling the wool over all of our eyes. I tell you, sometimes in this world, we just need some advice from our dad-like figure. That being said, let's go to Dad Hat with Dad Hat's tip of the week here on PW60.
It's that time of the week again. Dad Hat's Life Lessons of the Week. Brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids. Sometimes the old adage is true. What goes around comes around. Even though sometimes what happens to someone, they don't deserve it.
Cashing in right now. What? And he's cashing in right now. Priest is cashing in. Oh my God. By Priest. Priest is number one.
Many months later.
Oh no, not tonight. Oh my God, Rollins is the world heavyweight champion.
Congratulations, Seth. You deserve it. And karma is indeed.
Oh, Drew getting in the last laugh there, man.
What makes this funny, did you see Matt Hardy's tweet?
Yes, thank you for Jeff, for fetching Jeff all these years later. Holy shit, man.
So Punk might actually deserve this with the karma, because goddamn has he, stolen a lot of championship belts from people.
Well, needless to say, the ending of night 1, I think, was superior to the ending of night 2. I'll just say. Let's talk about the opener of night 1. Roman Reigns opening the show. How shocking is that? Teaming up with,
but holy shit, this match.
Yeah, him teaming up with Jey Uso going up against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Great opener, man. Told a good story. The big story with being Roman kind of making sacrifices to help Jey and kind of show like, I'm not the man I was.
Yeah, he went old school and dove over the rope, which
that was a crazy spot.
Which we haven't seen Roman do in such a long time.
Yeah, it was like, damn. Yeah, that was a crazy spot.
He almost missed.
Yeah.
He jumped too far.
But it was a solid tag team match, great psychology in this one of any type of a tag team matchup with that struggle to get to the hot tag. And then the Roman sacrifice. Of course, Roman and Jay picking up the win. I was pulling for Bronson and Braun, but it works for what it was.
Yeah.
So, great opener, man. Great tag team match. So really dug it. Speaking of tag matches, we got to talk about this one. This big what if, as Randy Orton was teaming up with Jelly Roll to take on Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, hell of a SummerSlam, man, because Drew and Logan would pick up the win here. But what's everybody talking about? The performance of Jelly Roll. What'd you think?
I love the performance of Jelly Roll. I'm pissed at Logan. Logan took too long with the setup of the finish, with him being set up that camera and the glasses.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're literally Jelly Roll's laying there. Like the finish didn't look good. But I was very proud of Jelly Roll, and he did look really good.
He did a great job with selling and stuff. He didn't do anything like too exuberant. It was kind of like an old school feel, It wasn't like, anything like a Logan Paul or a Bad Bunny or anybody who's celebrities we've seen in the past. But he did good. He did solid. He took some bumps, man. He took some freaking bumps, dude. But he's got a great choke slam. I love the boss man slam he does.
Yeah.
He's got a couple moves.
Touches were great.
He's got a couple moves in his arsenal. He looks good, man. So the psychology of this one too, I really liked as well. I liked how Jelly kind of started the match and worked the first part of it for the most part, and then you get Randy in there and just the back and forth. It wasn't a bad match, man. It was good for Jelly Roll. Will we see him again in a WWE ring? Wouldn't be surprised.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure in what capacity, but I'm sure he's not done with the WWE anytime soon. But kudos to Jelly Roll for putting on a pretty good performance there Saturday night. Ooh, now this was cinema, as the kids say. For your women's tag team championship, it was the Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez defending against the frenemies.
Yes.
Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Of course, we know the story going into this. Are they friends? Are they not? What is their role? And there were some spots in this too where it was like, oh shit, okay, Charlotte's going to turn. And the finish of this was phenomenal. You pointed it out on the watch along. That camera angle was perfect.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is where Charlotte turns. And then she hit that big boot, and I was like, oh, fuck. That was awesome.
It's like, oh, so we're doing this. Okay. But I agree, my friend. It was a pretty awesome finish, and you called it. We have new tag team champions as Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair picking up the win. It looks like Charlotte's having like the best time of her career right now, too.
She looks the happiest I've seen her since NXT.
And the thing is, people dog on her, they shit on her. Like it's too much, man. She's a human.
I will say I have never shitted on Charlotte. I have shitted on the booking of Charlotte because I know she got pushed down our throats.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to make her like her father.
Yeah, that's valid.
In wise, I've never shitted on Charlotte, but yes, this booking has been phenomenal.
Yeah, this story they're telling, and now we have new tag team champions. We'll see what happens with them going forward. But the real question is, what happens with Roxanne now? Because she's the one who ate the pin here. Judgment Day's not going to be too happy about that, as they have dropped some titles.
She just has to kiss Finn's ass, or they're going to blame it on Raquel. This is they're going to wait for the implosion of Judgment Day until Liv gets back.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's not. So I'm not sure how far away we are from that, but if it does happen, it's written in the stars. Also on SummerSlam, Tiffany Stratton successfully retained her WWE Women's Championship against Queen of the Ring winner Jade Cargill. This was short. This was like the shortest match on the card.
I heard there was a couple botches in this match, and it was called on the fly for to be short.
Oh, okay.
I need to rewatch this match, but I guess Jade herself, apparently from what I've read on Facebook and Twitter, there were some botches she did, and people in
Well,
the
I don't think they changed the finish though. Like I
No.
think they were planning on Tiffany to retain the whole time.
yeah, I just so I would have to watch, but yeah,
I wasn't feeling this. Like I'm not. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of Tiffany Stratton. I don't know. I don't get it. It's not for me. But this is Jade's gonna be getting plenty more shots though on down the road. She'll be a future world champion. There's no doubt about it.
hopefully, yes,
They're just gonna wait a little bit longer, I think, especially if there was in fact some botches. I mean, I can't think of any, but then again, I was just so kind of removed from this after the finish. I just tried to put it out of my mind. So yeah, it was what it was, and maybe the worst match of the weekend just because of the end result. Sami Zayn defeats Karrion Kross. What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, unless there's a bigger picture happening, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think he's done. I think he's leaving WWE. I think that's what's going on because I don't know. Like they should have pulled the trigger, done something at this point.
Yeah.
They're not going to apparently. Like you said, his name's getting chanted. He's getting brought up online. I still think he's like number 2 or 3 at his shirt selling, his merch selling. Like, I don't know what the fuck else you have to do to realize like how like did Sammy necessarily need this win? No, he didn't. He would have been fine without. But with Cross losing now, it's just like he's not dead in the water, but it's just like a head scratcher of what the fuck was it? Just like, okay, well, at least be grateful you're on the card, I guess.
Yeah, I don't.
Which for me, that doesn't work.
No,
that doesn't work at all. So here we are, though. Sami Zayn picking up the win at SummerSlam. A couple other things to note coming out of SummerSlam. I'm sure you saw this. It looked like a couple fans got a little rowdy in the stands.
God, Jerseyans are great.
Yeah, so there was a fight that broke out. There's some footage online. You can feel free to look up.
I sent that to the group chat as soon as it happened.
Yeah. Also, if you watch the post show, WWE did away with how they normally do the post shows, and now they're just doing it on their like set, like in front of the stadium, essentially.
Yeah, the fans.
So no press allowed to ask questions. Gee, I wonder why that happened. But overall, for being the first 2-night SummerSlam, putting aside all the bullshit behind the scenes and whatnot, I say it was a pretty solid card. I would say
absolutely.
Nights. So definitely, I think Punk and Gunther was the story of night 1 for sure, and of course Seth cashing in. And that night too, it had like solid matchup after solid matchup, as you kids say. It was banger after banger after banger.
Yes.
Well, rounding out WWE SummerSlam, we got to talk about the aftermath here, because we walked out of night 1 with a couple injuries. One, apparently Gunther was actually already injured going into the matchup.
Yeah, he had a nose problem, and they just worked that.
Yep, so they kind of worked that in. So it looks like Gunther is going to be out for an extended period of time. But you know what's great about that with what they did? Like, okay, now he's going to be coming back gunning for Punk, because Punk's the guy who messed up his face, right?
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of things, we have Braun Breaker with an injury. Now, we still don't know the extent of this injury. Apparently, it was his leg. Probably got hurt in that crazy spot in the opening matchup where he like clotheslined Roman, like, and jumped like through the air like Braun Breaker does, and like went over the table and stuff.
Yeah, he hit his knee on the table.
That's what it looked like. So
he looked he looked better when they came out after the cashing in.
Yeah, I mean, it was taped up, but I think I don't think it's going to be like a serious, like he's going to be out for an extended period of time. I mean, I think maybe he doesn't do anything for a couple weeks or something, like in ring.
They're probably just going to do promos and whatnot.
Right? Yeah. But hopefully, both these guys get better soon, and we get to back in the ring sooner rather than later. And while we're talking about WWE, kind of rounding out the discussion, we got to talk about Raw this past Monday, which felt like a lifetime ago, pretty much. But you had some fun matchups as the go-home show for SummerSlam. The Kabuki Warriors teaming up with AJ Styles to go against the Judgment Day was a great opening contest. Sheamus beating the crap out of Grayson Waller was fun.
It was.
That big 8-woman tag with Rhea Ripley teaming up with Nikki Bella, Stephanie Fakur, and Io.
This was almost a perfect main event.
Yeah, going up against Naomi and Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis. That was a great matchup.
It was almost perfect. You just need the Bella out of there. That would have been great.
Yeah. And of course, we forgot to mention this too, but this kind of started off the big story of Bronson Reed taking the shoes from Roman Reigns.
Shoe Fala is goddamn great.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of it, my friend. So,
Man.
Well, it's that time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Spicy Guac with a spicy take.
They know who Smash Mouth is. They know who Smash Mouth is. It's been a month, maybe longer. I ate some things, I drank some things, but Great Muda lives forever.
God, I think Spicy is still over in Saudi Arabia. We got to get him back somehow.
I was about to say.
He's still been there, man. Poor guy. So, all right, let's flip the script here and let's talk about AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday night. Of course, you had kicking off the show the Outrunners going against the Young Bucks, I guess was their name, according to their graphic. Yeah. I love the shit they're doing with them, by the way. How they're like literally shitting over them.
It's making me like the Young Bucks again.
Yes, it is. They didn't even get the intro on TV. They're already in the fucking ring. It's like, oh my God. But as that tag team #1 contender tournament for Forbidden Door continues, the Young Bucks pick up the win there. Also kind of led into that big brawl between Okada and Swerve, which I know you're all about with your boy Swerve. That's going to be a hell of a matchup, and we'll talk about that here in a couple minutes. Love the Christian promo too. It was great. Him coming out and just saying awful things about Nick Wayne's mom. I'm sorry, bro. I know that's a little sore subject for you, but
I am more pissed off at how bad that concerto was.
Yeah, but it was a scary looking concerto too. It's like I don't think we should.
Yeah, until you see the actual footage.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, it looks like Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian are going to continue waging their war against Christian
until Edge makes that giant save.
I don't know, man. I think Christian's going to have to do this on his own, man. But
this is going to lead to an ENC reunion.
Oh, it is, but I think they wait and do it against FTR. I don't think they do it against the Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. No disrespect to those guys, but also a big win from your ROH Forever Women's Champion as Athena and Billy Starks would defeat Toni Storm and Alex Windsor, which, by the way, Alex Windsor, man, she is just like, it looks literally like she's been on the roster for years. It's like, it's crazy how she fits right in with AEW.
I need to know what's going on in the water in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tremendous tag team matchup. And, of course, you had the Mark Briscoe and Ricochet main event. And MJF doing what MJF does, which it looks like he's pretty much out of the Hurt Syndicate, which, honestly, I think that's a good thing for everybody involved.
Yeah, it was not.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, and also amongst all this shit, we got to mention the big matchup between Hangman and Mox. The rematch from All In was an incredible matchup. Of course, Hangman picking up the win to retain the AEW championship, and Darby Allin doing some Darby Allin shit, man. Like, looks like we're on a collision. We're on a collision course with Darby and Mox. So. But the following night, you would have Collision over on Thursday night.
This is what I wanted to speak about.
Yeah, Collision's been great, man. It's been just a fun wrestling show. And this, once again, does that. Of course, you had Bandito and Brody King, like, picking up a big win.
This makeshift tag team, by the way, phenomenal.
Are they calling him Brodito or something? I think.
Yeah.
So they'll meet the Young Bucks in the second round of that tag team tournament. We had Chris Statlander was in action along with Will Nightingale coming out to take on Tekla. And it's looking like we're going to be getting a blood and guts with the ladies who we've been clamoring for the longest time, maybe?
God, this is like 2 years too late. They should have been done this.
Right? Yeah. Also, you had FTR pick up a big win against the Bang Bang Gang to advance to the finals of that tag team tournament where they'll await the winner of
Bang Bang to go to the finals.
Me too, but it is what it is. But the Young Bucks and Bandito and Brody will meet this upcoming Wednesday to determine who will go to the finals against FTR. Also, we had that, of course, another Max Caster Open Challenge with Roosh answering the call this time. But let's talk about that main event. Holy shit. For the TNT Championship in a Chicago street fight, it was Kyle Fletcher against the natural Dustin Rhodes. And by the way, I know you popped for this because I did too. The entrance of Dustin Rhodes coming out to his WCW theme. Holy shit.
That was wild. And the fact that Tony was able to get that.
Right?
Phenomenal.
Oh, man. But this matchup was awesome. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for everything that happened this weekend, I'm sure it probably would have been our match of the week. But at the end of the day, Kyle Fletcher is your new TNT champion, which I know a lot of people are happy about. And I'm fine with how they did it. Dustin got the cool spot at All In. He held the title for a couple weeks, and now the belt's on Kyle Fletcher, who it was going to go to eventually.
Yeah. By the end of 2026, he will be AEW champion.
Wow. Okay. It's a bold statement, but you know what? I'm not mad at it because Kyle Fletcher has proven it week in and week out. I mean, shit, he stabbed Dustin Rhodes with a fucking screwdriver. I don't mean he just he like literally stuck it in his skin and penetrated.
All right, the younger viewers will not remember this, but as a old school WCW fan, remember when TNT and TBS would have GC or WCW have no blood on their television?
Yeah.
We've come a long way.
We've come a long way. Well, back in the day, in the NWA days, they had it, you know. It wasn't like all the time, but they had it.
But there was like that early 90s, like Bill Watson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, no blood.
Nope.
You will not have blood on television.
Nope. None whatsoever, my friend. And look at us now.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Just a bloody mess. God bless us, everyone. Well, so much going on in the world of pro wrestling. And like we say, we're getting ready for Forbidden Door coming up here on Sunday, August 24th. I know you're excited about this one because it's the Unified Championships on the line. It's Kazuchika Okada putting that belt up against, or those belts, I should say, against Swerve Strickland.
I don't like this whole 3 belts thing. It's weird to me, but I can't wait for this match.
Exactly. I don't care. Like, put 10 belts up. I don't care. It's Okada and Swerve. That's a dream matchup right there. And I think that's really the concept of Forbidden Doors, these dream matches, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how about this AEW Women's World title is going to be on the line with Toni Storm defending against Athena?
I really hope Athena takes this.
I'm torn because I love both, but I get it. I know you're kind of burnt out on the Toni Storm character, but man, I don't want to see her lose anytime soon. But if anybody does it, I'm okay with it being Athena because, I mean, she is the fallen goddess, and, I mean, she's the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. So if anybody deserves it, it's definitely Athena. But we'll see what happens come Forbidden Door, which that's the next big show, man. It'll be here before you know it, here in a couple of weeks, man. And I'm sure we're going to find out plenty more of going on for Forbidden Door. But on the New Japan side of things, we're still a little busy because we are in the heat of the G1 Climax 35. And I got to tell you, Mike, in all the years I've been watching the G1, this may be like the craziest with like how tight the race is in both.
I was about to say, I've heard this has been a really good.
It's been a great G1.
I can't really watch G1 or New Japan like that. So,
well, there's been some incredible matchups, but if you break it down on the A block side of things, you literally have like a pretty much
a five-way tie.
Five-way tie. So you have Yota Tsuji. Technically, by tiebreakers, this is how they rank. Yota Tsuji is in the lead of the block. He has 8 points, but also right behind him is Evil with 8, Yuya Uemura with 8. You got Bolton Oleg with 8, and Ryu Owai all with 8 points. But the thing of it is, it's like the others aren't that far behind. They're only 2 points behind.
Yeah.
And all you need is a win, dude. to get those
Yeah.
points. So it's with 6 points, you've got Taishi, Hiroshi Tanahashi in his last G1, Callum Newman, David Finlay, and Sonata all have 6 points.
Yeah.
So we've literally got 2 more matches left going into action. So it's anybody's ball game. And remember how it's going to work is there's going to be a semifinal and there's going to be like a play-in too. So there's I think 4 spots technically in each bracket. So that being said, let's talk about B block here real quick. And it's pretty close race here as well. Other than you do got El Phantasmo has pretty much been eliminated. And of course, Gabe Kidd forced to head out of the B block. The shocker to me is outside those two, Shingo Takagi kind of being on the end here with only 6 points. I mean, he's still technically in it, but he's got to win his matches, and he's also got to hope for a lot of things. But the biggest thing here, B block, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys all tied. But if they go by tiebreakers, Mike, you know who is winning B block?
Who?
Yoshihashi is in the lead.
Funny.
That is insane to me. Like
That's
I never.
Really
Yeah, so he has 8 points. Then right behind him is Drilla Maloney in his first G1, having a hell of a first G1 with 8 points. At 3 is the guy who I think's been the MVP of this G1 so far is Takeshka. And then right by him, you got Ren Narita with 8 points. Zack Sabre Jr., your IWGP champion, with 8 points. Great Khan with 8 points. And then Shoto Umina with 8 points. And like we say, ELP, Gabe Kidd out. Shingo barely hanging on. But we got 2 more matches coming this week. And we'll know kind of like how that's going to play out. But I'm telling you, this has been one of the most intriguing G1 climaxes, I think, to date that I've seen. Speaking of tournaments in Japan, we also got to talk about Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix is underway. And with an update kind of on those rankings, we have now with there, you have the Blue Stars and the Red Stars, and they have an A and B block. Now, in the A block, leading currently is Emi Sori with 6 points. And right behind her is Bosella with 5, which Bosella is my pick to win the whole damn thing. Over on the Blue Stars and the B block, Momo Watanabe leads with 6 points. And following her with 4 points each is Suzy Suzuki, Hanako, and Sari. Now, in the Red Star side of thing, on the A block, you have Saya Kamatani with 8 points, followed by Hannon with 7, and B Priestley with 6. So, and B Priestley has, I can't remember if she's won it before, but she's had a dominant run in the 5-star Grand Prix before. So, we'll see what happens there. And over on Red Stars B, we got Rina with 8 points, followed by Natsuka Tora with 6. So we'll see what happens. But that tournament really just kind of getting underway. So there's still a lot more to go there in the Stardom 5-star Grand Prix. But speaking of Japan, got to talk about this. Man, it was a huge week for Game Changer Wrestling because they were all over the place because they were in Japan at the beginning of the week and then coming back to be a part of SummerSlam weekend. Did you get to see any of those Japan shows?
I've not seen the Japan shows. I'm going to try to next couple of days. I watched the Jersey show.
Okay. There's some great matchups on the Japan shows, too. Effie against Matt Tremont for the GCW title was awesome. From the Cork and Hall show is probably my favorite. But all 3 of the shows are great. If you get a chance, go back and check them out on Triller. But literally, to come from, I think that was on like a Wednesday, I want to say.
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday.
Fly back to America. And then kick off GCW's Summer Smash Weekend, which was a huge weekend for GCW, kind of like a mini collective. Of course, starting it off, the WWE ID special presented by GCW, and they crowned the first ever inaugural ID champions. Of course, Smiley Kylie Ray picking up the win for the women's, and Cappuccino Jones picking up the win in the men's. What do you think? You're a big indie guy. What do you think of both of these as winning the ID titles?
I had others that I wanted to, but I'm very happy with this. I love both of these wrestlers.
Oh, 100%.
And 100%. They've been doing phenomenal things on Evolve.
They really have, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, they really have. So congratulations to both of them. You mentioned it. GCW was in Jersey Friday night for Hit 'em Up. I know what you want to talk about most on this.
I will
Yeah.
leave right after this.
Yeah,
It's
because
already
I know you got to
4:30.
get going, but hey, it's perfect way for you to go out because you were marking out on this. Crowbar against Effie.
Was fucking phenomenal. I have not watched like I know he's been wrestling, but I have not watched the Crowbar match in the last few years. Fucking surprised me.
Yep.
They had a knockout, drag out wrestling match / brawl that was perfect.
Yeah, it was great. It was an awesome matchup. Atticus Cogar and Billy Starks was a great matchup too. And man, the physicality in that one, holy shit.
Yes.
And I know another thing you loved about this show too is the Hardy Boys coming out, making the save there for your GCW Tag Team Champions.
The fact that for at least 3 seconds we have Vandal 48, aka the Cobra Brothers, and Christian Napier in the ring with Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. So,
That was weird.
absolutely. And things got really crazy at the end of the night. I know you got to get going, but just want to talk one more thing with you because I know this is big. Let's talk about JCW running their show at midnight. Of course, we got this rivalry going on with JCW and GCW, but
I do gotta go, so all I'm gonna say is I am praying for you, John Wayne Murdoch.
Yeah, I'll talk about this. But thank you so much, Mike, for joining us. And hey, don't forget to go join Mike over on World Championship Wreckage for Netflix and Raw. It's going to be a good one tonight.
See y'all later. Bye.
Bye. But yeah, let's talk about John Wayne Murdoch. So first of all, in the match we talked about earlier with Effie and Crowbar, Effie did sustain a little bit of an injury. So we're still kind of waiting to hear, a little banged up. But could you imagine? I mean, the man went through wars in Japan and then comes over here, goes through a war with Crowbar. But originally it was supposed to be a big 6-man tag with GCW against JCW. Effie was out, so John Wayne Murdoch gets put in. And yeah, this picture tells it all, folks, because literally he was set ablaze, suffered some serious burns. If you follow him on his socials. He's got a Cash App and stuff. If you can, find it in the kindness of your heart to support him, it'd be great because John Wayne Murdoch is a great performer and a super awesome guy. You hate to see that happen, man. So, but that JCW show, it got crazy, and in a couple weeks, this whole GCW JCW storyline's coming to a head at the Gathering, where both those companies will clash head to head. And keep in mind too, both companies have respectively stolen each other's world titles, with the GCW holding on to the JCW title, and of course JCW grabbing Effie's GCW title. So we'll see what happens here in a couple weeks. But also part of Summer Smash weekend was Bloodsport 14, which was a tremendous show headlined by a hell of a main event. Masha Slamovich against Natty Neidhart. For 7 minutes, these gals beat the holy hell out of each other. It was fucking awesome. Of course, Natty picking up the win. Another tremendous matchup was Pete Dunne and Jonathan Gresham. My God, that was such a good encounter. Also, the War Raiders were on this show as well, in some big matchups. Big win for Royce Isaacs, as he would tap out Eric or Ivar, and then of course you had Eric pick up a big win against Manders. Bloodsport was awesome, but that wasn't the end. The end of the weekend was Emo Fight. Which I can tell you, I've seen some of the Emo Fight shows before they've done, and they were great. But this one was awesome. Like it was a really fun show. And what's really cool for us here at PW60, our good friend Sienna happened to be on hand for Emo Fight. She got some footage for us. So check this out. Sienna from Emo Fight as part of GCW Summer Smash weekend this past weekend.
Fuck! Man. Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
we're 2 days removed from GCW's emo fight. Let's just say they actually redeem it. That was one of the better GCW emo fight in LA 2 years ago, but let's not talk about it because we're in the present. Shout out to the local band Bad Luck, based out of New York. They did an incredible performance. Give them a follow, Bad Luck NYC. There was 5 matches in the card, of course, the men's scramble and the women's scramble. Amazing. Brooke Kelly versus Priscilla Kelly, formerly known as Gigi Dolan. Incredible. Also, the studded belt strap match between Drew Parker versus Justin Finn was pretty interesting, but it's awesome. And the main event match is between Brian Keith versus Zachary Wentz. Oh my god. Incredible. Definitely worth the palate cleanser during the SummerSlam weekend, but you know, it's incredible. But anyway, hope you all enjoy the highlighted clip from GCW presents Emo Fight.
Thank you so much, Sienna. I'm so glad you had a blast, not only there, but also SummerSlam weekend as a whole. So, let's talk about NXT from this past Tuesday night. Of course, you kicked off the show with Jada Parker going up against Jasmine Nix. You got Javon Evans pretty much writing his death sentence as he wants to challenge Obafemi for the NXT Championship. You had the matchup for freedom from the No Quarter Catch crew with Charlie going up against Tavion Heights. Of course, him earning his freedom was Tavion. So, also, you had Javon. Speaking of Javon Evans, he had a matchup there with Wes Lee. And the match of the show, though, Santino challenging Ethan Page for the North American Championship, and it was a damn good matchup. Like, honestly, if it was like a slower week or something, that would have been probably another contender for our match of the week here on PW60. I mean, it was just a great back and forth matchup. It was a good matchup for the North American title. Santino's showing he's still got it, man. So, but tremendous main event matchup there as part of WWE's NXT on Tuesdays. But let's talk about WWE's show from Thursday, WWE Impact. And no, I'm not mispronouncing that. I know what it is now. So I'm just saying. Been saying it for weeks, and I'll continue to say it. That this is WWE. Anyways, kicked off the show with a triple threat match for the X Division title. Of course, with Leon Slater successfully retaining his X Division championship. Had tremendous Mike Santana promo, man. I like, seriously, please go ahead and pull the trigger on that. That's long overdue. Also, you had JC Jane go up against Masha Slamovich in a rematch from Slammiversary. JC Jane would retain, although it would be some shenanigans there. Of course, she is set, Masha, that is set for a rematch, depending on the outcome of what happens when Ash by Elegance, who is the #1 contender for the Knockouts title, challenges JC Jane for that championship. I tell you what, though, the big thing for me on this one was there's a very emotional interview from Sami Callihan. And I mean, Sami Callihan, I think is I've always thought is a tremendous performer. I've loved the stuff he's done. Revolver's an incredible promotion, but outside of that, just really have enjoyed his work, and he pretty much just kind of putting it on the line. You know, if I may be towards the end of my career here, maybe I should retire. So we'll see what comes with that story coming up in WWE Impact in the next couple of weeks. No, I'm not going to let it go. Speaking of wrestling shows, NWA Power made its debut on the Roku channel this past week, and you can catch them every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on the Roku channel. I think pretty much they were just showing a lot of highlights from this years earlier Crockett Cup, but I mean, still, it was great to see the NWA on TV. Big shout out to Carson Drake, who was competing in the main event. It's just crazy to think we really met Carson a couple years ago and kind of did some stuff with him at Squared Circle Expo, and now he's like making a name for himself in the NWA. It's pretty cool, man. Very talented wrestler if you're not familiar with Carson Drake. Speaking of talented wrestlers, let's talk about this. Big news coming out of CMLL as MJF has won the CMLL Light Heavyweight Championship. Of course, continuing on with that feud with Mystico. You know this is going to be leading to a big matchup between those two, but man, oh man, that no good son of a bitch, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, once again, he's done it again, and he's your new CMLL Light Heavyweight Champion. I'm excited to see what's going to happen there, man, because I've enjoyed the stuff I've seen with him and Mystico so far, so can't wait to see what happens in the next chapter there. Gotta talk about this. So over the weekend, a lot of shows going on in Jersey. One of those shows was House of Glory. And on that show, yes, you had Bully Ray defeat Silla Fatu. And he is now your new House of Glory Crown Jewel champion. Yuck. Yeah, I'm not feeling this. Y'all know my thoughts on Bully Ray. So it is what it is. But Silla was in the news a lot this week because we got to talk about this. Holy crap, man. So there is some serious beef apparently between Silla Fatu and one Rikishi, his uncle. I think Rikishi's his uncle. Cousin, whatever. Of course, Rikishi on his podcast I don't think he really said anything derogatory necessarily, but just said some shit that was just offhand. But that's kind of what Rikishi does on his podcast, is he says stupid shit spews out of his mouth. He said something to the effect of like talking about Silla's debut for TNA. Or I'm sorry, for WWE, I should say. See, I'm not letting it go. But at WWE Slammiversary, where Silla Fatu participated in that 6-man tag. Of course, he came out in the Jeff Hardy face paint. And that's essentially what Rikishi was questioning, that he was like, you know, using his gimmick and blah, 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 and all this other bullshit. And then more or less Silla Fatu just kind of was like, what the fuck? Kind of stepping up. And then there's a video that surfaced out there online where his mom just ripping into Rikishi. So definitely some turmoil going on in there with the family. But I'm sorry, Rikishi, the podcast, maybe you should just dial it back a bit, or maybe just, I don't know, shut the fuck up. Just saying. A lot of heat going on here. This is like some dirt sheet news stuff right here. Speaking of which, it's that time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Jay with the dirt sheet news.
I'm looking for the scoops for Cole TV. Hey, it's your boy Jay, bona fide member of the Dirt Sheet Press. And here's some stories you may have missed this past week within professional wrestling. And before I touch on all the big news coming out of SummerSlam weekend, let's start with AEW. And let's talk about AEW's biggest star, Chris Jericho. Where has he been? Everybody got so tired of Chris Jericho, especially with the Learning Tree, that people were happy to see him off of our screens. The Chris Jericho really left to go tour the world with Fozzy. Turns out it's a band. I really thought Jericho was leaving wrestling for these long periods of times to hang out with a Muppet Baby. Turns out Fozzy is actually a band. Pretty crazy. But anyways, Chris Jericho's tour with Fozzy is now over, but he's still not back on AEW TV. Everybody's wondering why. Sources backstage within AEW say the tension between Tony Khan and Chris Jericho right now is at an all-time high. Chris Jericho may not have been an EVP when AEW started, but he was one of maybe 6 wrestlers that had almost, Tony Khan did have final word, but had almost total control over the way their character was booked, perceived, and wins or losses. Now, we all know Tony would never say no, so that meant Jericho pretty much had free reign over his character. Tony Khan is slowly but surely trying to take control of his company back, and this is seeming to be a sticking point with Jericho and Tony Khan, considering Jericho's contract is up this October. A lot of people say if you see Jericho before Labor Day or the week after Labor Day. That means they're back on the same page and he has signed a contract extension. But there seems to be a little bit of rumbling within AEW that we may not see Jericho until late September, just for him to lose a couple matches before his AEW contract ends in October. So let us know in the comments how you feel about that one. And speaking of AEW, two big people were missing from SummerSlam this weekend. Edge and Christian. We got to see the Dudley Boys. We got to see the Hardys. But where was Edge and Christian? As we all know, good old Cope and Father Christian are in AEW now. There was no possible way they would ever be on WWE TV, right? Turns out, TKO actually sent feelers out to AEW to possibly get Edge and Christian to show up at SummerSlam in possibly a box seat capacity or the three teams being together outside of the arena. So Edge and Christian didn't seem to be 100% linked up with WWE. These negotiations, or talks I should say, were in such close to happening manner, if I worded that right, I don't know how to say that, I guess, that it was still being discussed as of Thursday until they decided, let's just put the Dudleys ringside, let's put the Hardys on the other side, let's do what we always do, have the celebrities up front. But word is the reason why it didn't happen is Tony Khan asked for a favor, meaning he wanted a WWE star, or possibly footage, some people are saying, to appear on his program. And that seemed to be a line that WWE/TKO did not want to cross. But how did you feel about WWE celebrating tables, ladders, and chairs with only showing the Hardys and the Dudleys, but not mentioning Edge and Christian?
It's time for the Dave Meltzer No Shit Sherlock Scoop of the Week.
And here it is. The reason why the WWE didn't have its press conference after SummerSlam is because Brock Lesnar came back. Whoa! Yeah, Dave Meltzer really had the scoop on that one, and I figured I'd share it with you. But those just aren't the facts. Those are the dirty facts. The Dirt Sheet News!
Thank you so much, Jay. Please bring the no shit Sherlock Dave Meltzer. Like, that has to be a weekly thing, I think, here now. But thank you so much, Jay. A lot going on with the dirt sheets and behind the scenes and whatnot. And speaking of which, gotta talk about this. WWE Unreal debuted this past week on Netflix, and kind of some mixed reviews on this. A lot of people kind of enjoyed it. A lot of people kind of like, oh man, like they're just pulling way too much back on the curtain. Here's the thing with this. I watched it. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I thought it was fine. Nothing. It was interesting. But the thing to keep in mind is, even though this is quote unquote pulling the curtain back, it's still, they're only going to let you see what they want you to fucking see. You got to keep that in mind, folks. So, I don't know. Like I can say, I didn't really have a huge problem with it. I know there's talks of some of the stuff on this show was staged. No, you don't say. Shocking. Particularly, I think one story was something about like Charlotte Flair getting cheered or something after she won the Rumble. Can you just leave Charlotte alone? Like, I mean, really? So, but Unreal is available on Netflix if you want to check it out, if you haven't done so already. And one of the other things kind of coming out of this too, and big news kind of dropped this week, is that WWE's pretty much had a falling out with Travis Scott. Imagine that. Of course, Travis Scott, well known in the hip hop world. Of course, we all know him as showing up at Elimination Chamber and pretty much ruining the WrestleMania main event in John Cena's last WrestleMania. That's going to be his legacy forever in wrestling, I think. Just stay away. We don't need you. Like, fuck it. No, but apparently he does a lot of different, from what I've been told, he does a lot of different, like, projects and gets into them and then just doesn't finish through with them or whatever. So we ain't got no time for that. Just do your thing and stay out of wrestling, buddy. Okay, great, thanks. So this happened. Vince McMahon apparently was involved in a serious car crash last week. But everybody apparently appears to be fine, including Vince McMahon himself. I'm going to go with the adage, if I don't have any nice things to say, then don't say nothing at all. There you go. This was an interesting story that came out. Drew McIntyre almost did not make it to SummerSlam. That's right. So Drew had went overseas to the UK for a friend's wedding, and as he's trying to travel back into the US, they would not let Drew back into the States. However, apparently WWE was able to send over their jet. They were able to work something out where Drew was allowed back into the United States, where he is technically a U.S. citizen, because he does live here now and has done all the protocol there or whatever. But a fascinating story. But we are here at PW60. We actually have some insider information on just how all this went down and Drew got back to the States, as we just so happened to be able to talk to Drew's assistant. So check this out.
Good afternoon. I am the personal assistant of Drew McIntyre, Leopold. My name is Leopold. It begins and ends with Leopold. I have really bad allergies. We ran through multiple problems at the airport over in UK, which involved flying pterodactyls. I'm not joking. Mr. McIntyre was incredibly distraught at not being able to fly immediately because he wanted to watch his favorite movie on the flight, the Ice Cube classic, Torque. Everyone loves Torque. It is an amazing film. It is way better than Fast and the Furious. Partially because Ice Cube is in it. Oh wait, who's that? It's me, Marty Hyman! I thought I had a permanent job with the people of PW60, but no, you're a bunch of sluts, including this schmuck right here! Sir, you can call me whatever you want, but please do not cover the Ice Cube classic, Torque. I can stand in front of whatever poster I want to stand in front of. I can stand in front of any Ice Cube movie, be it Friday, next Friday, or Friday after next, the holiday classic. It would have made way more sense if I was to be the one to help out young Drew Galloway here. It's Drew McIntyre. He goes by McIntyre. He's going to have a match with Jelly Roll and Logan Paul. He's going to have a match with a dessert and some YouTuber? Hell, I should be having a match with him. I'll jump on top of Jelly Roll as blueberry juice shoots from his sphincter. What is up, P-Dub City? Is I the BGM and, Marty, why are you smiling? Where's Leopold? He's the newest member of the P-Dub City crew. Well, in the midst of editing this video, we sort of had to dispose Leopold. He's not among us anymore. Oh, God. You didn't? Yes, he has been mourning, no longer with us. It was beautiful. It was quite bloody and disastrous. He's no longer here, and if anyone tries to take my place, you will end up exactly where he is, at the bottom of a river with cement shoes. I tell you what, no one's gonna take this money away from me. I owe so much child support, and my drug addiction is ridiculous.
Leopold? Like, did HR, like, who is it? I guess Tim Flowers, the family. Oh, anyways, well, thank you so much. Marty's back again? Like, I'm so confused. Speaking of confused, this picture right here makes me want to vomit. I'm like so heartbroken, but not shocked by this. Okay, so let's just get out there. So yes, Triple H was at the White House this past week as part of the president's. I guess they're bringing back the fitness thing for kids or something in the gym, and like we used to do back in the day. Apparently Triple H is a big part of this, as long as they brought other like people in, like I guess Lawrence Taylor was there because fucking let's bring a known rapist in, whatever. I feel like this week, here's the thing in WWE, and I talked about this earlier, this was literally like WWE's like really kind of just like chilling and showing their hand. And it shouldn't be shocking. It shouldn't be shocking in the least fucking bit. But this is the day and age we live in, and I'm sorry. I want to use this show as like talking about pro wrestling and stuff, but you know what? It's starting to get to the point where anything WWE related is unbearable to me because they are against like for my morals and my values, and I'm sure a lot of you out there too. And then shit like this happens, then you go to that fucking WWE show that we just talked about that's on Netflix, and it's like pretty much they're just like fluffing up Triple H. And then you get to the shit with Lesnar this past weekend. It's just like, to me, it's just like, you know what? We're the WWE. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Who cares? You're still going to watch. So, but honestly, folks, it's getting to the point for me where old XLJ is about to bow out and just let somebody else on this show cover WWE shit or just not even fucking talk about it at all because it's just, it's getting fucking stupid. In my opinion. I'm sorry. It is my opinion. It is what it is. So I hate that goddamn saying, but fuck this. Fuck you, Hunter. Fuck you. Fuck all of you involved in this fucking picture right here. Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize, but just, yeah. On a lighter side of things, this is kind of a cool story that broke out. Looks like the Wyatt Six will be involved in Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. So they'll have like a haunted house as part of the exhibit there for Universal Studios. And it's pretty dope, man. Never really been done in wrestling before, to my knowledge. So, pretty dope that it is the Wyatts. And honestly, it's making me want to think about just making a trip to Orlando, just see what the hell it's all about. But that is coming this fall. You can check out the Horrors of the Wyatt Six as part of Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. Completely out of nowhere. Kind of random. Speaking of random, let's go to Brian with Brian's Random Moment of the Week here on PW60.
Sitting in the vehicle random at the moment, pondering for a few moments. Look, oh, so nice and pretty. That's one of Stormy's ball things that she likes to play with. She has fun with that. Hi, yeah. Sun zooming in on my beard and facial hair. All right, so time for the random moment of the week. Oh, yeah, by the way, there you go. Pow! Yeah, random moment of the week. Gotta wash my hat sometime soon. All right, I'm gonna make this quick and simple, and here we go. And I'm gonna make it the top 5 variety. There it is, all 5 digits in place. Thankfully, don't cut fingers off. That's good. All right, so top 5 variety, here we go. And talking about SummerSlam this year, the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. And I want to go with this. What were, number 1, it's a 3-part question. You got all the numbers, see if you can count. 1 part, 3-part question. First part, what were your top 5 moments of SummerSlam night number 1? B, what were your top 5 moments of SummerSlam night 2? And then to wrap it all up collectively in a nice collective bow, the cumulative, that's a big word, surprised if I could say it. What were your top 5 overall moments of SummerSlam 2025? As I point at you, like, oh, put you in a car, fool, what you gonna do? So there you go. Number 1, top 5 moments, SummerSlam night 1. Number 2, top 5 moments of SummerSlam night number 2. And overall, of all SummerSlam 2025, I think I got it right, maybe, oh well. Top 5 moments of SummerSlam 2025 as a whole. So with that, comment below. I'm looking forward to your answers. And have yourself a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of the week. I'm going to have a great week because I got a couple days off to start the week. Yeah!
Well, thank you so much, Brian. We love you. And leave us a comment. Let us know what some of your favorite highlights of SummerSlam was in this past weekend. Well, speaking of love, we like to spread the love with our wrestling content creators. And this week, our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week is none other than Tori Talks Wrestling. Now, Tori, she has a lot of videos like just talking about the WWE. She's a big WWE fan. But she's got to, the thing is, it's cool to see people posting videos where it's like just talking about their love of wrestling or just trying to look at things at the positive, which I know is really hard to do. especially with the WWE. But nonetheless, you know, she's got a positive outlook on it, and it's a refreshing to see this day and age, especially in the IWC. So, our Ruby Ringside Wrestling content creator of the week is none other than Tori Talks Wrestling. So, if you're not following her, give her a follow and check her out. This was some sad news that just come out here recently. Colby Carino, the son of ECW legend Steve Carino. Of course, Colby's been making a name for himself on the independent scenes, working for the NWA specifically. Announced that he had to have some emergency surgery on his neck and back. So we don't know. Hell, we don't even know if he's going to be able to return to the ring, honestly, at this point. We hope so. We hope he obviously has a happy and healthy life ahead of him because he's such a young guy. Great performer, too. But go give Colby Carino a follow, and if you can't support him, I'm sure there's some information for that on his socials. But we here at PW60 want to wish you well, and we hope you get back to a healthy, happy lifestyle very soon, young man. Also, this past week, it was announced that TNA Emergence will take place on Friday, August 15th in Baltimore at the Chesapeake Arena. So that'll be coming up here a week from this Friday. Of course, it's going to be a lot of line on that show as we are on that road to Bound for Glory, which will be coming up in October. Speaking of TNA, aka WWE, Impact. It looks like TNA is currently looking to shop around to get a TV deal, which there's rumors they may be coming to the CW. So, how nice would that be that WWE would have 2 shows then on the CW if that does happen. But we'll see what happens there. And WWE, speaking of them, they've announced that they will be live streaming the biggest event of the year for AAA, Triple Mania, which will be taking place Saturday, August 16th. And you will be able to exclusively see that on WWE's YouTube channel. Of course, the big main event there, that fatal 4-way for the AAA Mega Championship with Vikino defending against Grande Americano. Of course, Dragon Lee and your Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. But you will be able to see it here in the States with English commentary, too, on WWE's YouTube channel, Saturday, August the 16th. And our last story this week here on PW60, it was announced AEW's World's End will be coming back to its home away from home, Chicago, Illinois, at the arena that started it all. Now Arena will be taking place Saturday, December the 27th. I can tell you I've been to the Now Arena several times. Absolutely love that. There's so much nostalgia there too with AEW's history. So I think it's very apropos that World's End will be taking place at the Now Arena this December. So super excited to see what's going to happen there. But that'll be coming to you Saturday, December 27th. Well, it's going to wrap it up for this episode, the supersized episode of PW60. We talked about everything that happened this past week in the world of pro wrestling and so much more. Special shout out and thank you to Michael for joining us here tonight. Go watch him now over on World Championship Wreckage's Netflix and Raw. I know he's going to have a lot to say with Doug and Michaelia. And tune in next week for another episode of Pro Wrestling 60. Mr. B-Roll will be back with me, and we'll be talking about everything that happened this week in the world of pro wrestling. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week on another episode of PW60.